Time now for another vlog. And April's gone.
Yep. Insanely fast.
Just like previous months.
Yeah, I don't know why, but everything just seems to be flying by as we take off with the...
It's the quickening.
Yep.
As we get older, time moves faster until it's over and we're by done.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but what's also almost done is the spring, so it's going to start getting really miserable outside.
Oh boy.
Yay!
Yeah. I didn't even press the button and it went up automatically.
Wow.
Hmm.
Huh, interesting. So anyways, we are back in Flight Sim 2020, even though we have Flight Sim 2024. 2024 left a lot to be desired when we were playing with it a month ago.
Yeah. It's not bad, but it has some issues that needs to be fixing.
It's just not fully cooked yet.
Yeah. It's like halfway done.
Yeah, so...
Right now it's kind of raw. Like Gordon Ramsay was saying.
It's raw!
Yeah.
Yeah, and all your jets, except for the F-18, I think all the other jets, well, the A-10 also, like all of them are like confined to 2020.
Right.
In other words, you can't use them in 2024, which is unfortunate because you think that we'd be able to. Maybe we will eventually. Maybe they'll transfer over somewhere down the road, or maybe the third-party developer that made them has to update them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's the case, but we'll just have to wait and see. But till they get a little bit more time in the oven with Flight Sim 2024, we'll just stay here in Flight Sim 2020.
Right.
I think that's what most people have done. There's a few people that endure Flight Sim 2024, but to be honest, I mean, I'm fine with 2020.
Yeah, I'm still good with the way the current version of 2020 looks.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't really need updating. I think it's fine the way it is.
Yeah.
Like honestly, if they just kept updating this one, I wouldn't have bothered. I mean, minded like at all. I mean, it's fine.
That's what they should have done, but money.
Yeah, they could just sell more copies of Flight Sim 2024.
Yeah.
But this one's fine for me.
Yeah, I still think they should have just, instead of Flight Sim 2024, they should have given the developers an extra year and just called it Flight Sim 2025.
I think it would have needed more than a year.
At least of a year by the time it launched, by the time it would hypothetically launch, it would be further cooked.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe it would be a lot further along than it was at launch, and still has a ways to go. Plus, I don't like the fact when we fly so low in 2024, things just start to like graphically look like shit.
Yeah.
It does happen in 2020, but it's not as bad in 2020.
I guess what I hate the most about 2024 is the fact that you would just fly around, you would just randomly crash.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was happening too throughout our March 20.
Like I would just like
stream,
go up like this, and then the plane just crashes.
Yeah. During the last vlog, that kept happening. Well, we just endured it. All the more reason why we're just gonna stay with 2020 for now. Yeah. In case anybody's wondering. By the way, which state are we flying around?
We are in Colorado.
And what airplane is this?
This right here, this is a MiG.
It's a MiG, wow.
Yep.
I've never seen a MiG like this before.
This is a MiG-69.
Wow, the MiG-69.
Yep. Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
Anyways, this is an F-18, and it's beautiful. It's the Top Gun Maverick one.
Yeah, with the Top Gun Maverick skin that we got. And, speaking of the F-18, I told you about that yesterday. An F-18 Hornet rolled off an aircraft carrier in the Red Sea.
So we hired a scavenger. What is it called?
Yeah, we're going to go get a free F-18 Hornet. All you got to do is, like, get down to the bottom of the Red Sea.
And just look for it.
Yeah. It's international waters. You can claim it, finders, keepers, right?
Yeah. Probably somebody already grabbed it.
It wouldn't surprise me if some supervillain out there is conspiring to assemble a team in a submarine to go down there and grab that F-18 Hornet for themselves. I mean, compared to like an F-22, F-35, I mean, it's kind of ancient technology-wise.
What is it, 90s or something? 80s?
I think it's 80s or 70s. But, I mean, they're still an amazing fighter jet.
Yeah.
I mean, they saved us in the 90s from the alien invasion.
Wow. You always bring that up with this plane.
I know. But anyways, all right, so what's been happening in April? Okay, so real life stuff. I've had to make a difficult decision about the back porch and balcony. Now, that's the reason why I initially fell in love with the house, was the view, right?
Mm-hmm.
because it's an amazing view. It's a pretty big balcony. But over the past few months, I've noticed issues with the balcony. Like boards would start looking weird, and underneath, like in the back porch, the ceiling of the back porch, underneath the balcony, looked like there was water damage. And so I researched, I looked up a contractor in the area that's, obviously reviewed well, has a good track record. And I had him come over, give me a free estimate, and he was like, yeah, whoever built this made some mistakes.
Yeah.
And I decided that I was going to have basically the back porch and the balcony, quote unquote, repaired. And so if you hear banging in the background, it's because my contractor is working on the balcony as we speak. So whenever he and his buddy ripped it down, the guy he's working with, they found other issues, like they used the wrong screws. They were using, like whoever built the balcony made some mistakes, or were cutting corners, or in the end didn't really know what they were doing.
Right.
So once the balcony and the back porch is fully repaired, then it's going to be better than ever. And the reason why I keep saying repaired is because the HOA will stay off my butt if it's just a repair, not basically a complete rebuild. But fortunately, I'm on the architecture committee as you go nearly crashing into that building.
That didn't happen.
Yeah.
I tried accelerating, but it didn't do it.
So I am on the architecture committee. I do know about these things because occasionally I do have to vote on things. I wish I didn't have to, because I hate HOAs, but almost every neighborhood in the Austin and outside of Austin, Central Texas area has HOAs. Ours, fortunately, is one of the cheaper ones and one of the most hands-off ones, but we're also trying to get rid of it. So hopefully we end up getting rid of our HOA, because it's kind of pointless. It's just a waste of money every 3 months. Not a lot of money, but it adds up over time.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not a fan of HOAs, and there are way worse ones out there and way more expensive ones. But as long as you consider what I'm doing in my backyard with my back porch and balcony a repair, then there's no issues.
Yeah.
So hopefully in a week or so from now, it'll be completely done, finished, and then I'll probably take some photos of the final product to show off in Discord.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to it. I just hope it's not too hot and miserable by the time they're done, because I'd like to enjoy some evenings on the new balcony or the repaired balcony before it just gets too intolerable to be out there during the summertime. So that's the big thing that's been happening. Yeah, is it costing me a few bucks? Of course it is. But it is a long-term investment. It future-proofs the balcony and porch. It'll be stronger. It'll look better. And if we ever do decide to move to, say, Colorado or somewhere else, then it'll add value to this house. So that means
Right.
I'll probably end up making a pretty decent amount of money selling it one day, depending on the housing market. Housing market so far in Central Texas is not as good, but there's always a possibility it gets better in the future. We're not planning on moving anytime soon, but it's planning ahead, right?
Right.
So yeah, and the back porch will be screened in, so we'll be able to chill on the back porch. That'd be kind of nice. Maybe we'll get some back porch furniture. We'll see. We'll do something with it. And then the balcony, obviously, I do like sitting up there for my view of hill country, right?
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I've been kind of missing it, kind of jonesing for it, especially during this time of year. But the price that I'm willing to pay.
Don't worry, JB. In the summer, you can go all the times you want.
No, it'll be too freaking miserable outside. It'll be a scorcher.
You can go out like at 8 p.m. and it's still the sun out there.
Yeah.
Yep, Turdy has it right at it.
He's missing the balcony too, because he likes going out on the balcony with me when I go out. So there's times that we by the door and he'll be meowing at the balcony door. I'm like, no, Turding, we can't go out there. He doesn't understand.
He should. Turdy, you should understand.
Well, he's a cat. He doesn't know that work's being done. Wow. But don't worry, Turding. Hopefully soon we'll be able to go back. It's just patience. We have to wait at least another week or two. Hopefully. But they're doing a great job, though. Good guys. They're around my age, actually. So it's kind of cool chatting with them, having some bro moments. But I try and stay out of their way at the same time,
Right.
But anyways, other than that, what have we been up to? We've seen the sisters. I mean, I've seen the sisters a couple times. I went to the dentist, got my teeth cleaned. Both my brother-in-law and my sister were working, so I heard them, And then I saw my sister working on a patient when I was walking out the door. And then she texts me like 10 minutes later. It's like, where'd you go? I was going to say hi to you. I'm like, well, you were busy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I didn't want to interrupt you. You were focused on your patient.
Yeah, that's way more important.
Yeah. So,
But
we're doing dinner with them anyway, so it'd be fun.
yeah, because in reality, they can just see you whenever they want. They could just call you.
True. Exactly. They can text me, and we do try to meet up at least once a month. I know that's not a lot, but both of them are always busy, with their families and their jobs and etc.
Just consideration stuff.
Exactly.
Anyways.
Anyway, so I think that's pretty much everything we've been up to in real life. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's just same old, just appointments here and there, and
your appointments, my appointments,
and just dealing with other personal stuff that I'd rather not get into details.
yeah, there's some things we like to keep off the side. Oh yeah, the big thing. Oh yeah, almost forgot to mention something.
Oh yeah,
So on our 4th anniversary,
420.
I and Riley and me and us and we decided that we are now married via common law.
Yay!
Because a while back I did get us wedding rings made, but we have some things coming up and we're just trying to plan ahead. Eventually there will be an actual wedding, not a big wedding, and there will be the legal paperwork. But fun fact, in the state of Texas, a couple that lives together and meets certain criteria can declare common law marriage. And by common law, we are husband and wife. And the truth is, we've kind of seen each other as husband and wife for a quick minute.
Yep.
I mean, maybe not the first year, maybe not the second year, but I would say,
By 2023, 2024.
yeah.
In that area.
Yeah, we basically have gone from, boyfriend, girlfriend to fiance to unofficially married. So we see each other as husband and wife, and by common law, we are now husband and wife.
Yay! I can't believe that JV's my wife.
Ha, ha, ha. Anyways, so the good news, we're technically married. Not a big church. We're not going to do a church anyways because we're not really religious. We didn't go down to the courthouse because, well, common law, you don't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
We may do that anyways, but we're not really worried about that at the moment. But, yay. My wife, Riley, everyone.
Hello.
My better half. Okay, so I kind of spilled the beans accidentally during the Skull and Bones video Monday, but it just happened. But I officially wanted to tell everybody here as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, yay, we're married, which pretty much feels exactly
The same.
how it has felt the past few years.
Yeah.
And if it feels the same, then that's a good sign, especially if you're in a good relationship with somebody you like being with and enjoy being with and plan on continuing to be with.
Yep. Yeah, it just feels the same. Yeah, pretty much. It's just new title.
Yeah. The first night I took off my ring before bed, it was such a weird feeling because you feel like it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a phantom ring,
Yeah.
but I've kind of gotten used to it, like wearing it and also taking it off at night.
That's how I feel every single time I wear my normal ring.
Yeah. So when you put the second band on, because you have the engagement ring and now you have the wedding band, did it feel heavier? Did it feel any different or about the same?
No, it feels the same. Because I'm already used to the normal feeling of the normal engagement ring.
Mm-hmm.
So just adding a little bit more, I mean, it's like maybe like a pound.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even that heavy at all.
It's not a pound.
Well, less.
Maybe an ounce.
Okay, that.
But yay. So we're officially married. Well, according to common law. But during April, let's see, what else have we been up to? As usual, watching stuff. That's our pastime. I am going to take her, hopefully Thursday, to go watch Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, yeah. When? First thing?
Hopefully Thursday.
Okay.
Because you have an appointment. Like today, the last day of April, she actually has an appointment. But Thursday, hopefully, we'll go watch Revenge of the Sith. Hopefully.
Now, you know what I want to see on the big screen?
What?
Put 1, 2, and 3, Back to the Future. Put them back on the big screen. I will love to see that on the big screen.
That could happen one day. Maybe a future anniversary. I mean, it is like the first movie came out in '85, right?
I think so. And then I think there was 89 and then 91.
Yeah. So, I mean, if there was a time to do an anniversary screening, it would be this year. But I don't think there's any plans for it. Maybe in 2035, because they do have a 50th anniversary of Jaws later in the year. That's happening. I want to go watch that.
Yeah.
I also wanted to go watch Sinners, but we never got a chance to go watch Sinners.
I don't know what that is.
It's a vampire movie by Coogler. He's the guy who directed the first 2 Black Panther movies.
Yeah.
Well, the only 2 Black Panther movies. But I've heard really good things about it. It has Michael B. Jordan in it and a few others. Some actress in it that's pretty popular now. But a lot of people have been praising the movie. They say it's really good. Plus, it's been a while since I've seen a really good vampire film. So,
yeah. It's been a very quick minute.
Yeah, so
Rhinefield was the last one I saw, I think. It was okay.
Renfield? Oh,
Renfield.
Oh, with Nicolas Cage as Dracula?
Yeah.
I heard that was cheesy as fuck.
It was. I saw it, I think either I saw it on the plane on the way home, like way back then. And it was okay. I mean,
I think the actor that played Renfield is also playing Lex Luthor in the Superman movie.
I have no clue.
I think. I could be wrong about that.
It was okay.
But that's another movie we're hoping to go watch this summer, Superman. Because I do like Superman. And I hope James Gunn does a good job, hopefully. But yeah, I did talk about some Star Wars on the other channel. So if you're interested in me talking a little bit of my experiences going to watch Revenge of the Sith 20 years ago. And also Andor, because we're watching Season 2 of Andor. We had to wait a couple years, but we finally got Season 2 happening. And I shared my opinion already on my channel. Riley, what's your opinion about Season 2 of Andor so far?
It's mid.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. I mean, it's just boring. It's just boring. I don't know why. It's just... Actually, no, I do know why. Especially the Andor stuff, like, with him and, like, all the rebels stuff going... I don't know, the scavenger, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
The insurgents.
Yeah.
I don't care. I just want to see Andor.
I think that part has just been wrapped up, kind of.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't want to see it again. And
without spoiling anything.
And then the rest of the stuff is just like good. Like, I guess, yeah, good. It's just okay.
Yeah, I think what it is, it's just that they're having to set up a lot of things, and this is kind of like them starting to push the ball or the rock, and then by episode 4 and the rest of the season, it starts really rolling.
Yeah, but right now it's just with what you get, it's just really fucking boring.
Yeah.
And I guess another problem, and I've always said this, is Andor's a dead character. True. He's dead. We know how he's going to end up.
Yeah, especially if you watch Rogue One. Spoilers.
Yeah, but that came out like 10 years ago.
I know.
Didn't that come out in like 2015 or something?
It's been a quick minute.
Like, it's been a decade. Like, no, you know.
Yeah.
If you wanted to watch Rogue One, you would have seen that already.
True.
So, we know how he ends up, but we're making a series about this whole thing about a guy we already know ends up dead anyways.
True, but it's not just about him. It's about Mon Mothma. It's about Luthen. And some other characters as well. And the characters are really good. The story's really good. They actually take the Empire seriously in this show and actually make them out to be scary and, like, everywhere throughout the galaxy. Like, they don't feel like a joke. Like in some other Disney Star Wars media. Mm-hmm. And that's what I appreciate about the show. Is that, the Empire is actually a real threat. And the odds were against the rebellion. Because in the movies, you kind of feel that, but at the same time, you have this whole hero's journey, and you're just focused on the main heroes like Luke, Leia, Han.
Yeah, but that's also the problem. When you do stuff like in the past,
and
you go like, oh my god, they made him look so menacing and so terrible and all that stuff, and then you watch the movie, which is canon and continues after, and you're like, well, what the hell happened?
Well, they're still menacing in the movies. It's just that, and like I said, other media, like I would say Rebels, with a few exceptions, most of the time in Rebels, the Empire felt like a joke. And also Bad Batch.
Yeah.
So I think that the Empire deserves to be taken more seriously because, they're pretty deadly, they're pretty scary, authoritarian, evil. So I do appreciate that about Andor. And hopefully the rest of the season ends up being really good. It's just getting past the first 3 episodes last week. And
they were so boring.
Yeah. But I'm sure we'll have more episodes to watch. I think they aired, Tuesday night. We haven't watched the new episodes yet. Hopefully they're better. Let's just hope. And regarding the controversy thing, because there's controversy last week in the 3rd episode, I did talk about that over on my other channel in case anybody wants my opinion about it. I'm sure Riley doesn't really care. She doesn't really have an opinion about it.
No.
Basically, it's the same opinion as mine. The controversy is ridiculous because of all the other bad things the Empire has done.
Yep.
And another show that we watched on Disney Plus, we should have started with this one. They wrapped up Daredevil, the first season. Well, Daredevil Born Again. What was your thoughts about Daredevil Born Again? And I guess overall, the series.
I thought it was good.
Hmm?
Like overall, I do hate the ending though because waiting.
Yeah, waiting. Yeah, the cliffhanger.
Yeah, I hate cliffhanger endings. But I mean, if the second season was out like right now, sure, set it up. But we have to wait like a year or two.
Yeah, I think the plan is to get the second season out next year because they're already working on the second season.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen a few photos.
It's like one of those things that it would be better if you just released the whole thing. But
Well, it doesn't really work like that unless you come to a series like later
yeah,
after it's already come out.
yeah, like we used to see with Naruto. Basically, everything's out.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think that Daredevil Born Again wasn't perfect, but I thought it was really good. I think we even decided to rank it, right? How we would rank it with the other 3 seasons of Daredevil.
Oh, not gonna lie, I don't remember any of the other 3. I mean, I remember some things about it, but
Okay.
I barely remember the first 3
Well-
Daredevil seasons.
Well, the first season basically introduces Matt Murdock as Daredevil, right? And he's he's basically just wearing a black outfit and a black
Yeah.
mask. It's like he eventually does get his suit, his first suit in the show, and then of course it's also introducing Fisk. So it's basically their origins and how they first come to a head at the end of the first season.
Right.
The second season's about Daredevil versus Punisher and Elektra.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the third season, Fisk comes back with a vengeance.
And there was this one FBI dude and
Bullseye.
And Bullseye. Yeah.
Yeah, Bullseye. So I would say the first season's the best, then the third season, and then Born Again season 1, and then season 2.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that's how I would rank it.
I would just have to rewatch it.
Yeah.
I did, like I said, I remember some things, but I don't remember every single detail.
We can always go back and rewatch it because all those shows are on Disney Plus now.
Yeah, like we did with the MCU.
Yeah. I guess after we're done with Andor, if we're bored,
If we're bored, yeah.
we can say, okay, now's a good time to go and
I guess it really depends on how much we care.
I'm willing to do it. But anyways, yeah, I think that it didn't there was an episode or 2 that I didn't really enjoy as much, but overall I thought that compared to a lot of the other MCU shows, I'd say Daredevil Born Again way better.
Yeah, I do hate that it takes it's a spoiler. Actually, I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah, we're trying not to spoil it.
Especially since it's brand new. It's not like Rogue One, which is like a decade old.
Yeah, but either way, looking forward to season 2. The only downside is the lack of involvement of Spider-Man because of licenses deals with Sony.
Yeah.
So even though it would logically make sense for Spider-Man to be involved in what's happening or what will happen in season 2 of Daredevil Born Again, unfortunately because of those
Licenses.
legal issues, there's probably not gonna they're probably gonna mention Spider-Man. It wouldn't surprise me, but he's not going to be involved in what is transpiring, which really doesn't make sense unless it's properly explained carefully by the MCU movie. Like we got what Avengers Doomsday in production now, so
Doesn't the Spider-Man games acknowledge Spider-Man and Kingpin together? I think in the Spider-Man 1.
that's under Sony. I think Sony, because Sony has the rights to Spider-Man movies, right? And they have a deal with Disney to include Spider-Man in some of the MCU films. And I think it all ties down to the merchandising as well. Now, Sony is also the owner of Insomniac, which made the Spider-Man the new Spider-Man games. So the fact that they have the rights to Spider-Man and to the Spider-Man villains, which includes Kingpin, then that's why Kingpin was included in this first Spider-Man game.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a whole different ball game when it comes to the movies, because Sony is working on a new Spider-Man movie, and Tom Holland will be back as Spider-Man in that movie, and he's probably going to be in Avengers Doomsday, but unfortunately, because of all this legal mumbo jumbo, he's not allowed to even have a cameo and Daredevil Born Again. I think that's dumb. I think like there can be some sort of thing made between Sony. It's like, come on, Sony, just do this for a fan service, you know?
Yeah.
It's good PR. Makes you look good. You don't have to have him swinging around in the spider suit, kicking ass and taking names of. It'd be cool if there was a side by side of him and Daredevil fighting together on the streets or up on the rooftops over New York.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that's not going to happen. But hopefully they properly explain it. Maybe Spider-Man's too focused on what's going to happen in Avengers Doomsday.
Maybe.
But then Thunderbolts also is supposed to be taking a place around the same time as well. And there's obviously in the trailer, Sentry's attacking New York and like turning people into like shadows on the ground.
Yeah.
So I feel like the MCU's just got too big.
We'll see.
It's just some things just don't connect together unless that's during a different time period than present day. But I've heard Thunderbolts is also getting mixed reviews, even though they were claiming it was going to be really good. But there's a lot of people that have seen it and says it's not that good.
No. Okay.
We'll wait and see. But yeah, so yeah, Daredevil Born Again, Andor Season 2. What else? Oh yeah, there's one show after we were done watching Naruto Shippuden and Boruto.
Which we'll talk about later, Boruto, I guess.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. There's one show that you really wanted to watch, and we finally watched it. And what's the show called?
Reincarnated as a Sword.
Okay, and what's the premise of Reincarnated as a Sword?
It's a weird name, I know, but it's actually really good. It's only like 12 episodes.
So far. I think they're working on a season 2, which is good.
Yeah. But basically, I think it's this dude that he's in the real life and he died in a car crash and then he reincarnated as a sword.
Yeah.
It's like a huge OP sword in like this RPG anime world.
Well, he doesn't start off as an RP sword, but he becomes OP.
Yeah, he becomes OP. He doesn't, yeah, because he starts, exploring and all that stuff. And
it's an interesting premise because it's an anime that's set in like a fantasy RPG. It's somebody that loves video games and loves RPG fantasy games decided to basically make an anime.
Yeah.
Because they take elements from so many different RPGs, and then like Legend of Zelda, Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, GB knows more about RPGs than I do.
And so many others as well, and it is a really cool show. I was on the fence about giving it a try, especially since we watched so much Naruto Shippuden, and Boruto. I was ready to kind of take a break from anime. But I was like, okay, fine, let's give it a chance. And it's surprisingly good.
Yeah, because I only recommend GB the good shit.
Sometimes.
90% of the time.
Yeah, sometimes.
No, in all seriousness, the only reason I found this show is because it looked interesting when I saw the poster.
Yeah.
Because I was like, ooh, what is this? And then I looked at it and it looks like a huge store with a girl on it, and I'm just like...
Yeah, she's a wielder, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, let me read the description then. Read. Okay, this looks interesting. Oh, it's only 12 episodes? Alright, we can see it.
Yeah.
And if it's bad, then it's not that bad, because we didn't waste that much time.
Yeah.
But if it's good, which it was.
It was good.
Yeah. And most of the characters are pretty good.
Yeah, I like the characters. I like the two main characters.
Yeah, the two main characters. But besides that, everything else was fun about it. Like the world, the rest of the side characters, that's a bunch of constant swearing.
Yeah, it's a very adult themed show.
Yeah, it looks like a kid's show until you watch it.
Yeah. But one thing I've learned is that there's a lot of anime that's like that.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I could see if this becomes successful enough, I could see someone making a video game based off this show, which is basically based off several video games.
Yeah.
So that would be interesting if that's how Reincarnated as a Sword ends up playing out.
It is actually a really good time. I think overall it's like 6 hours if you want to watch like the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's 12 episodes, which each one like half an hour.
True.
So, I mean, you could watch it in like a day or two and then just give your thoughts.
Yeah.
Or if you want to just like speed run it and just watch the whole 6 hours in a row.
Yeah.
It's a good time though. It's a good time.
Yeah. It
definitely caught me by surprise.
Yeah, me too. And we watched that after we were done with Boruto.
Yeah.
So we finally finished watching the current episodes of Boruto.
Yeah. And it was good. It was good as well.
Yeah.
It's just that it's the whole thing with the Otsutsuki.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan.
GB doesn't like the Otsusification of Boruto, or just
No, it's just I feel like a lot of movies and a lot of shows and series, after they're done with an arc, they feel like they have, in order to keep going, they come up with this new, bigger enemy, badder enemy in order to justify continuing a story. And a lot of times it just doesn't work. It just feels like a repeat of what's been done before. Case in point, right, with the original trilogy. The original trilogy of Star Wars was good. And the main threat was often the Death Star. But they brought back the Death Star again in Return of the Jedi. But then they brought back the Death Star again and made it larger in Force Awakens.
yeah, Starkiller Base.
And when you do that, it just feels like you're just doing the same thing, but you're just like supersizing it, right?
Yeah.
And it just feels so boring. It feels so unoriginal.
So we're gonna make it bigger. We're gonna make it better, but it's gonna end up the same.
Yeah, we're gonna make the First Order scarier than the Empire, but the Empire was already scary enough. I just wish they would just go in a different direction completely.
But the question is, where will you take Boruto?
I don't know. I mean, I personally I grew to like Boruto and the characters in Boruto, and it was nice that eventually, we got to see more time with Naruto as a dad and even Sasuke as a dad, even though their responsibilities kind of come first, unfortunately, because they each have a responsibility to the Hidden Leaf Village in their own way, and so that doesn't really give them as much time to be parents, right? But they do try. At first, it doesn't really feel like it. At first, you're just like, wow, these guys really aren't trying to be. They're not exactly father of the year materials, are they? But then eventually, they are able to spend time with their kids and help train their kids, and that's appreciated.
Yeah.
But I feel like Sakura, which gets a lot of hate from people, I feel like she got a pretty good glow up in Boruto. She's a lot more competent, likable than she was in Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, so that's a positive for her. Her daughter's pretty cool, Sarada. Well, her and Sasuke's daughter.
Yeah.
Boruto, yeah, he starts off kind of like a punk, a little annoying, like spoiled kid, the heir, the prince, right?
Yeah.
Son of the Hokage. But in time, his character improves as well. He goes from outright hating his dad to, understanding why his dad does what he does, and realizes how powerful his dad really is, because at first he doesn't know that his dad is one of the most powerful ninja in the shinobi world.
Yeah, or people ever.
He just hears stories about it, and he's just like, oh, well, these people always say things about my dad, and they're always praising him, but why? My dad is barely there. He shows up every now and then.
You should have seen him back in his prime.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we got the whole series for you to watch.
Yeah, but yeah, it is good that they're finally working on, continuing the Boruto story. I know it's continued on the manga, right?
Yeah.
But the animation team behind Boruto, they're finally, I guess they just started production of the next episodes. And I hope, I don't know if they're going to follow the manga. I don't know if they're going to do some changes. Because I know there's definitely things that a lot of fans really didn't like. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Right.
I'm sure there's going to be a time jump.
Yeah, like not Boruto and Boruto Shippuden or something.
Yeah, it's going to be probably like that where like Boruto and...
Or Boruto... I don't know. It was something Vortex. 2 Blue Vortex or something?
Blue Vortex.
Yeah.
I guess that's what they'll call it, is Boruto Blue Vortex, even though that doesn't really roll off the tongue.
No, that's not like Shippuden.
Yeah.
You say Shippuden, it just comes.
Yeah, sounds cooler. But yeah, I mean, I hope that they've learned from some negative feedback they've gotten regarding Boruto, and they make some improvements.
Yeah, I think what people hated about Boruto was just the start. Like the first 2 arcs.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm not gonna like the first arc was okay, but I guess if you saw the movie, then it was already kind of handed to you.
Yeah, true. The movie's good. It's like, we're going to talk about the Naruto movies in a second. But the Boruto movie's actually pretty good, even though they do make some changes whenever they finally get to that arc in the series. But it served as a good, I guess, pilot.
Yeah, for Boruto.
Yeah, but the problem is when you start the series starts before the movie.
Yeah.
And then by the time you get to the arc where the movie takes place, because you basically just watch the movie again in the arc, they make certain changes that I understand. why they made those changes, and then there's some I'm like, yeah, I kind of wish they wouldn't have done that, but whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, despite its flaws and not being at the same level of Naruto Shippuden, I thought it was okay.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah. It's just the whole Otsutsuki thing.
Otsutsuki.
Well, I keep screwing it up. But.
Yeah, it's okay. The only Otsutsuki I like is just Kaguya.
I think that should have been the only one. And then they could have had other conflicts that made the story go forward. And it just feels like, once again, they're trying to do the same thing again. Like, they're trying to get the fruit, right? The chakra fruit.
Yeah.
It's the same shit they did in the Ninja War, in Shippuden.
Yeah, they're just trying to replicate it.
Yeah, been there, done that. Okay, can we do something else?
Yeah, but I guess they're just, since it's the Otsutsuki way, they're just trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, that's why I just don't care for the Otsutsuki.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion. So we still have a few episodes left to watch. The final episodes of Naruto Shippuden. I guess the epilogue episodes.
Yeah, they come out May 1st or May 2nd. Something.
Yeah, on Hulu, the dub versions.
Yeah, I heard they were coming early 2025, but I don't. Would you consider May early?
It's almost at the halfway point. Yeah, I guess it's still technically quote unquote early. Now, you were watching a video the other day about, I guess, some hardcore anime fan that rips on anybody that watches the dubbed versions.
Yeah, I don't. It's not only him. It's just a few people that just say, like, if you watch dub, then you should go away and watch sub. I never understood that.
Yeah.
Of the whole watching anything dub and sub.
It's just that they think of themselves like more, I guess, high and mighty.
Yeah, like if you just want to watch an anime in dub, just watch it in dub.
Yeah.
It's not like the dub's bad anyways. I mean, I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably some animes that don't do a good job with the dub, but Naruto Shippuden, and Boruto, I feel like the English voice acting does a good job.
Yeah. You're just for saying that you're gonna be crucified.
I don't give a fuck.
By the entire.
My opinion is, if you want to watch an anime in sub, that's fine. If you want to watch it as a dub, that's fine too.
Yeah.
But think of it this way. If they didn't dub the animes, how much less popular would these animes be?
That's
Dragon Ball, Naruto, the list goes on and on. There'd be a much smaller fan base if it was sub only. So they can shit on the dub people all they want, but without the dub fans...
So many people would not watch.
Exactly. And who knows how many of these shows would have never saw the light of day or became as popular as they are.
Right. I mean, for me, I watch both. Like, I just watch sub and dub, so I've seen multiple clips, both in Japanese and English, of the same thing multiple times. I don't mind it. I grew up with both.
Okay, well, that's good.
Just seeing both sub and dub. But I prefer, if I had to pick one, I would have to pick dub, just because it's easier for me to, listen. That means I don't have to, I can watch and at the same time I can understand, and I don't have to read like half an hour.
Exactly, because you miss stuff if you're focusing so much on reading.
Yeah.
But
if I want to read, I would just watch the manga. I just read the manga.
The only reason why I would watch the sub one is if I knew Japanese. I wish I did know Japanese. I wish I was more fluent in Spanish, but I'm not. So I'm not going to waste my time trying to watch it in sub when I can watch it in dub, especially if I'm already familiar with the way the characters sound with the English voice actors. Mm-hmm. That's the way I hear them. That's the way, maybe not people that watch the sub versions, but, teach their own.
Yeah. So, I still remember when it came to Naruto and Shippuden and all that stuff, it was the same situation as Reincarnated as a Sword with GB. It was just like, do we have to? Like, I don't wanna. And then he watched it and he likes it.
Yeah, I mean...
He does that. I don't know why, but he just does that.
Well, it's just, that's the way I am. I will give something a chance, but at first I'm kind of on the fence about it. The problem is, I've been introduced to shows that I ended up regretting, and I don't like wasting my time on crap, because I've watched enough crap in my life.
I guess the only one that GB didn't like that I showed him was just Total Drama. He did not like that.
Yeah, I hated Total Drama.
Yeah, so
I'm
glad I was over.
I really wish I would have never watched that garbage.
Yeah, for me, as
I'm
like
not a fan.
Yeah, as a kid it was okay, but then I guess now that I'm an adult now, I'm just like, it's not as good as I thought.
Exactly.
It's one of those things that just you kind of see differently.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I just wish that. Look, I'm not even a huge anime fan, but anime fans shouldn't be at each other's throats over dub versus sub. You should be like, hey, you know what? You like Naruto? I like Naruto. You like Dragon Ball? I like Dragon Ball. Okay, if you watch it dub or if you watch it subs, so what? you're still fans of the same fucking show.
Yeah.
People always want to find a reason to like separate themselves. You know, it's so ridiculous. So just get over it and just watch the show whichever way you want, whether it's dub or sub. And one more thing is the Naruto movies. We didn't watch all the Naruto movies, but we did watch some. And I guess Boruto's considered a Naruto movie.
Yeah. I think it's called Boruto Naruto the movie.
Yeah. And I would say that of all the Naruto movies, it's probably on the top 3. What do you think?
I liked it.
Yeah. So we didn't watch them all, but once again, let's see which ones did we watch. We watched Naruto The Last.
Yeah.
Which we both really loved because it's focused on Hinata and Naruto. And it's good that we get a lot of that because, you know, the fact they had this whole thing throughout the series, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Hinata being in love with Naruto. And, well, Naruto kind of slow on such things. But it's obvious that if you look back, that Naruto does like Hinata. Even though he also liked Sakura.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it's a good time between them because Naruto finally realizes he's in love with Hinata, you know.
Right.
And then he's willing to go and fight for her, you know. Even though she's been willing to fight for him throughout Shippuden. So that was good. Let's see, what else did we watch? A couple others.
We watched the one with the whole like different world that Madara got sent to.
Oh yeah, Ninja War.
Ninja War, yeah.
That
Road to
one,
Ninja War.
Yeah, that one was pretty good.
It was funny.
Where he was Minma.
Menma, yeah.
And he actually hates Minma in Ramen.
Yeah.
But that version of Naruto was named Minma, but his parents were still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was way different.
Yeah, it was just him and Sakura got sent to an alternative reality, and it was good because in the alternative reality it was Sakura's parents that were the heroes and they died. So Sakura got to enjoy some time without her parents, but then she realized like, oh yeah, this does suck.
Yeah, but then she looks at Naruto.
Yeah, and then she starts to understand the pain that Naruto has had to deal with his entire life.
Yeah.
Because Naruto's had to deal with this, not. Having his parents, they basically dying on the day he was born.
Mm-hmm.
So it does give her some character development and some appreciation for Naruto and her parents as well. Because this is the first time I ever see her parents. And yeah, I can see why they don't really show her parents that much. I wouldn't want to be around her parents either.
Damn.
I kind of feel bad for her if those are her parents. Not the worst parents ever, but God, are they annoying.
Mm-hmm.
But... then we watched one more, right? The Blood Prison.
Yeah, the Blood Prison.
Yeah, that one wasn't as good.
Yeah, it like when you look at the poster and everything.
Yeah, it looks cool.
It looks clean, but
looks can be deceiving.
Yeah.
And I think it goes downhill from there, so we're not really going to bother with any of the others.
I haven't seen the first one, the Wheel of Fire. I watched the first 3 like Naruto ones when I was a kid, like the Stone of Yellow one, Crescent of the Moon Kingdom, I think it is.
Okay.
And Land of Snow. They're okay.
Yeah.
They're okay.
Didn't you say they were basically just filler?
They're filler, yeah.
I don't mind good filler, but I don't really care for mid filler or crap filler.
They're okay. It's just some things drag.
Yeah. I mean, I would kind of want to watch Wheel of Fire because it is focused on Kakashi. But the entire point is like they're going to save Kakashi or rescue Kakashi. But it's similar to Andor. We know that Kakashi's going to be fine.
Yep. I guess if you watched it when it first came out.
Yeah, when it first came out, then there'd be that suspense. Oh my God, are they going to kill off Kakashi? Because he's like one of my favorite characters on the show. But we all know, well, those of us that watch the show know that, yeah, it kind of takes away that
suspense.
Yeah, that suspense. But the other thing we watched, we found out that there was a second season of the new Kitchen Nightmares.
Yep, we were scrolling for something to watch after we finished Boruto, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were like, what do you want to watch? You want Reincarnation? No, I want to take a break from anime. Alright then, how about we watch, Kitchen Nightmares has a new season. You want to see it?
And I didn't even realize they aired the second season.
And then we saw it.
And it's not really the second season because, obviously, there's been way more episodes. Like, there was first the UK series, the original Kitchen Nightmares, which I watched on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then there's the first American series, and then I guess this is the third Kitchen Nightmare series.
Right, yeah. But I'm not gonna lie, a bunch of good shit came out of that Kitchen Nightmare series, the second American one.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, like the whole, like me and GB just see it every day. Wake up!
You wake up.
It's just because of the intro.
Yeah.
It's just funny. It's
Because it's moldy, you pellic.
yeah, Jimmy loves that one.
Yeah. I love Gordon Ramsay. So, like, the second season was focused on New Orleans restaurants and also some Texas
You
restaurants.
said it wrong. It's New Orleans.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
No.
Kansas, Arkansas.
No, for
Arkansas.
once, I'm right in my pronunciation, okay?
Yeah.
I come from Texas and Louisiana. I spent a lot of my adult life in Louisiana. Both sides of my family are from Louisiana. I know how to properly pronounce New Orleans. Now, do the people in New Orleans throw a shit fit if you call it New Orleans or New Orleans? No, not really. But it's New Orleans, Nolans, or Crescent City, or Big Easy. It has many names. But it also has some good restaurants, but these weren't exactly the good restaurants.
Nope.
So, yeah, I mean, overall, I like this season, I think, more than the first season.
I would say so.
Yeah.
I think the first one was in New York.
Yeah, I think a lot of it was in New York. Maybe there was like one or two that were outside of New York.
Yeah, or New Jersey.
Yeah.
But they were not that good. I would say this one was definitely better.
I feel like the first season is basically Gordon knocking off the rust. Because he stopped doing Kitchen Nightmares like a decade ago. Because he got tired of the restaurants blaming him and threatening to sue him when all him and his production company were trying to do was go in and help these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all just demonizing him. Oh, it's Gordon's fault, blah, blah, blah. But your restaurant was already struggling before you called him for help.
Right.
And then, obviously, he has other shows like Hell's Kitchen, Next Level, or
Next World Chef or something.
and then he has like 2 or 3 other shows. The man is just busy. Plus, he has tons of restaurants and like he has
Dude's set
family.
for life. He's set for life.
I know. I think Gordon is just a workaholic. He can't sit around doing nothing.
That's a good thing.
He's a busybody,
Yeah, but at the same time, if he has like a huge family, I mean, he has to have a shit ton of money.
Oh, he does.
What's his net worth?
A lot.
A lot. So I'm pretty sure he could just retire if he wanted to.
Yeah, but I don't
Just
think...
cook.
No.
You just cook for his family and hang out with them and seeing them grow up.
And that day may come as well one day, but I think right now while he's still... I mean, he's, 50s, 60s now, but he's still in pretty good shape.
Is he? I think he's in his 70s.
I don't think he's that old, because I think 2 years ago, him and his wife just had another kid. And his wife is like 50, so I think he's maybe in his 50s.
Maybe.
But he's been doing this for a quick minute, But I have a lot of respect for Gordon Ramsay, And I find it funny when a lot of these restaurant owners or cooks just act like they know what they're talking about.
Yep.
And they sit there like, what does he know what he's talking about? I mean...
I've been in the business for way longer than he has.
Yeah.
But still, you're not the one Michelin star chef.
Yeah, you're not the one that has numerous popular shows to his name.
And restaurants.
Restaurants.
And look at Tatooine.
And is, widely respected by the culinary world.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think I'm going to go with Gordon's opinion on this. Because he can instantly sit there and eat something at a restaurant. He could tell.
I don't know. This water is kind of wet. It's just bland.
Well,
Yeah, I know.
It's so crazy because you can like, oh, is your guacamole like fresh made? And then they'll lie. It's like, no, it's not. This shit's out of a bag. Or this is frozen. This isn't fresh.
It's fresh frozen.
Yeah, oh yeah, I remember that from a long time ago. But yeah, so those are all the shows we've been watching. And one more thing, if anyone knows Gordon Ramsay or if Gordon Ramsay just stumbled across our vlog, probably not. Gordon, when is Hotel Hell coming back?
We need Hotel Hell part.
With the
one.
original intro, with the cheesy CGI and the tiger. And
yeah.
Bring it back, baby.
I love that intro.
Yeah.
It's cheesy, it's corny as hell, but it's funny.
Yeah, I want to see more Hotel Hell.
Hotel Hell was fun.
I like the way they did it the first 2 seasons. The final season, I felt like the changes they made, I didn't like.
Yeah, Hotel Hell was better, like the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
I liked it the way it was.
Yeah.
It was funny.
But in a way, it's kind of like...
it's Kitchen Nightmares, but hotels.
Yeah, Kitchen Nightmares Plus. Because there's also a lot of hotels also have a kitchen, so he's kind of doing half and half. Half hotel, half kitchen. But I still kind of enjoyed it because there's a lot of shitty hotels and motels out there.
Yeah.
So if you ever wish to revisit Hotel Hell, we'll watch it.
I feel bad for. I think there was this one time where they actually show Gordon like showering, being naked.
Oh yeah, they have some ass shots in the early days.
Yeah. And
I think Gordon just didn't care.
Yeah. And they also had this one where they use a black light and they see a bunch of dried semen.
Oh yeah, yeah,
bed.
that was awful. Yeah.
Which makes me, after that, I go, every time we want to go to a hotel.
I know, right? You're just wondering.
I was just wondering how many people have fucked on this bed.
Yeah, it's just nasty.
Yeah. So whenever we go to a hotel, I'm playing my own black light.
Yeah, that's why it's important to review the hotels before you book one. Because these hotels did not have good star ratings. They did not have good reviews. There's a reason why these hotels were picked for Hotel Hell, right?
Yeah.
Just like with the restaurants. But yeah, so we do like some Gordon Ramsay.
He's entertaining.
Yeah, we stopped watching Hell's Kitchen though. We binged through like 12, 13 seasons. It just felt like the same thing over and over again. So.
Yeah, so after like season 13, then that's it.
Yeah, I don't think we have any plans of going back.
Nah.
Unless we're just really, really, really bored.
Yeah.
Which I doubt. We're not that bored.
We'll find something before we watch the rest.
Plus, I can't imagine the show any better now than it was in its prime.
Yeah, I think season 17 or 16 or something was like All Stars.
Okay.
Which was like a bunch of returning contestants and see if they could make it. I think it was a bunch of black jackets from previous seasons.
Well, that might be worth jumping ahead to watch just to see how they do. But anyways, yeah. So that's everything I think we've been watching besides our separate YouTube videos that you like to watch on your own and me on my own.
Yeah.
So let's move on to video games because, we do play some video games. What have you been playing lately?
I have been playing the Skull and Bones.
No, you haven't.
No, I haven't. I've been playing Sea of Thieves.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been playing a lot of Megalodon missions. Megalodon missions. There. And they're fun.
Okay.
I mean, it's just fighting a Megalodon with extra steps, I'm telling you.
You just like the music.
I just like the music. It's too good.
That's why you do it.
It's the final boss theme. It's just it's too good. It's just, you know how you replay a mission and then you just go and then you're like, wow, that soundtrack was fire. Let me go listen to it on YouTube. And then you just listen to it and then you go like, you know what? I'm going to go replay that mission again just so I can hear the music.
Wow.
That's me. That's me right now. I'm in that era.
Okay.
Okay, it's the Megalodon mission. It's okay. You just go from one place to another, then you finish the final boss fight. But that music, when you face the Megalodon at the very end, it's so fitting. They made the Hunter's Call theme, and they made it epic. I'm telling you, that Sea of Thieves music department cooks. Okay. I don't know who's...
Yeah, they do a good job.
I know there's a composer, Robin something. I don't know if it's Robin or whoever else said it. I forgot his name.
They do a good job with their music.
But they do a good job with their music, and they drop 2 bangers. They drop the Ballad of the Mer and instrumental in the main menu, which is great. I love it. And then they drop this huge banger with the Megalodon music.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, two big W's in the music department. And besides that, I finished the Plunder Pass, so I'm kind of already just done with Sea of Thieves. I'm just waiting for the next season.
Yeah, I didn't bother.
Yeah, I mean, you can lock in with me.
Yeah, I know. Maybe one day I'll get bored and I might just want to try it out at least once just to check it out.
You know that Bounty didn't care either about the Plunder Pass, but he bought it anyways just because he finished it.
Okay.
Just because basically the only reason he came back is because I'm playing it.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason he finished it. You might as well just jump in with me.
Well, and then if I get time, because I'm kind of focused on a couple of other games at the moment.
Okay, when you're bored.
Yeah.
But I'm having fun playing the Megalodon missions. And mostly because of the music. And then after I'm done playing with the music and I'm done logging out for the day, I'll just go on YouTube and listen to it.
Of course you will.
So it's like that one Stranger Things song with GB and just listening to it a million times.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely songs, like whether it's a song or a score, that you really like, that you like to jam out to. I've done that plenty of times over the years.
That's me.
I get it.
Yeah, that's me. I'm just movie scores and video game scores. That's my type of music. That's what I listen to.
One of the many things she and I have in common.
Yeah.
Because when I was a kid, I used to jam out to standard like rock music, top 40 music. But I also like to get soundtracks from movies. Like, for example, Crimson Tide by Hans Zimmer. I loved Crimson Tide. The movie was good. Had Gene Hackman and Denzel Washington and a few others in it. It's a really good submarine movie. But the score is so good. I love it. And Hans Zimmer's a great composer.
Yep.
So I used to jam out to that. And then years later, he did the Batman, Dark Knight trilogy. And he did a good trilogy there. So yeah, I also love scores. Whether it's, like you said, movies, TV shows, video games.
Yeah. Then you have, what's the other one? John Williams.
Yeah, John Williams.
Alan Silvestri.
Danny Elfman.
Yeah, there's a bunch of good ones.
There's so many good ones. Jerry Goldsmith,
Yeah, like you say, Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of good composers.
I love composers. Like the old school ones like Beethoven, Mozart, to the modern day ones.
That's classic right there.
I feel like they all stand together, right?
Yeah.
Like they stand shoulders above the common top 40 hip hop artists or musician.
You know that somebody made a video of basically I think it was somebody listening to Beethoven, and it was just a bunch of people he was cooking back in the day.
He was
cooking. You see their reactions of the people just having fun.
Yeah.
And then you have the modern audiences, and they're like, you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen that. But
it's so funny.
But here's the thing: the popular artists right now,
yeah,
that most of them I could care less for. They're not going to be remembered a century from now. At least probably not most of them. Some of them might be if they're lucky. But what's going to continue to be remembered are the Mozarts, are the Beethovens,
yeah,
the Chopins and Trotskys and all that,
That good shit.
Yeah, the good shit, the classics.
Honestly, if you were asking me if I was 10 years old, I would say, nah, you're wrong. But it's one of those things when you get older and you're like, huh.
Yeah, it's just timeless,
Yeah. This is actually way better than I thought,
And I think the same thing can be said about, movie composers like, John Williams and Hans Zimmer.
John Williams will be remembered.
Yeah. I believe so, too, because there's so many movies that he composed. Star Wars, Jurassic Park,
Indiana Jones.
Jaws, Indiana Jones.
All those are just iconic.
Yeah, and we've probably failed to mention quite a few more he did,
Yeah. I'm way too low there.
But yeah, I love that kind of music. I love scores. I love all that.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's really good. All right, so I've also been playing a pirate game, Skull and Bones Tier 2. I've been enjoying it. I ascended to World Tier 2, which is a bit more challenging than World Tier 1, so hooray for me. I got the Assassin's Creed cosmetics that came out Tuesday. It was pretty easy. You just had to sink some convoys.
That's it?
Yeah, and you can buy the cosmetics in the shop. It's the Assassin's Creed emblem for your flag, and there's flag colors, red and black flag colors for your sails, and red and black colors for your hull. Well, I think one of them's actually pink, but doesn't matter. And then there's a samurai figurehead, so I guess it's for Assassin's Creed Shadows. The only one I don't think you can actually get is the figurehead, but I don't care. I just wanted the emblem and the sail and the hull colors. So all I did was take out 2 different convoys. Of course, you had to wait a few minutes. It took me about an hour, because I think each convoy pops up every 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. So convoy pops up, sink the convoy, get the chest, open the chest, get the cosmetics, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, done.
Wham, bam.
Probably the easiest time limited event they've done so far in Skull and Bones. Hardly any effort. Or you could just shell out gold and buy them in the item shop, but why?
Right.
Hey, it's your money, as I always say. So overall, I've been enjoying year 2 of Skull and Bones. Also playing Oblivion Remastered, and today I'll also be doing the next episode of Oblivion Remastered, so that's going to be fun as I continue the main story. I'm doing a lot of side questing in Oblivion Remastered. In fact, I did the arena, where I went and fought everybody in the arena and eventually became Grand Champion. Mm-hmm. That's not hard. If I can do it, anyone can do it. But it was kind of, some of the fights were a little bit more challenging, but I did enjoy it. And I really hope they bring back Arena for Elder Scrolls 6, because we didn't have Arena in Elder Scrolls 5. And the first Elder Scrolls game is called Elder Scrolls Arena. So it would make sense to have an arena in an Elder Scrolls game. But yeah, overall, really enjoying Oblivion Remastered. I still think I like Skyrim a little bit more, but there are things about Oblivion that I'm appreciating that I really wish would have also been in Skyrim. But I hope that Todd Howard and Bethesda are looking at the feedback, from releasing Oblivion Remastered and seeing the things that we are liking about Oblivion that weren't in Skyrim, and port all the stuff we like from both games into Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be getting Elder Scrolls 6 eventually. Right, Todd? Maybe by 2027 with the next Xbox console, probably. But, it's fun because there's plenty of other games that are coming out this year I'm looking forward to. And other games you've been playing. What else are you up to? What else are you playing? Some other game that you normally play just like me? Little pew pew first action.
The porn game?
Yeah, that game.
Yeah, the over porn too.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, I've been hooked with it just because I've been playing at a lot of Stadium, the new update that came out.
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of it. I already reached Elite 4. I kind of dropped a little bit because of yesterday. Me and Bounty were not having a good time. We had Idiot 1, Idiot 2, and Idiot 3 on our team. The dumb fucks, as we would like to say, or the going further and further in the insults,
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go further into that. But basically, me and Bounty had to do everything. We always get MVP. We're always doing good. And we have people, we literally, this happened yesterday, and we were fucking pissed. So we are 5 people, right? And it's 5v5. The enemy team, one support leaves. They have one healer. One. Just kill the healer, right? Then they can't heal. We win. Our DPS, I don't know what the fuck they're looking at. They don't kill the healer. And we're just me and Bounty. We're try-harding, trying to kill this healer. They can't heal. We win. It's a 4v5. We have one player advantage.
Yeah.
And they're dying left and right. How are they dying left and right? And then we lose. We not only do we have they have a player disadvantage, but we lose. And it came to the point where literally I was playing like a character myself, then I gave myself a bunch of healing and damage reduction. I had more healing done to myself playing as tank than both of my supports combined.
Wow.
Yeah, they're supposed to like be healing me and supporting me, boosting and all that stuff, just helping the team. They can't even kill the healer. They can't heal me. Then what can you do? And it just
Yeah, it's like that one meme. What exactly do you do here?
Yeah. So it just came to the point where me and Bounty were getting MVP every single time, and my teammates wouldn't do shit, and we ended up losing. And then it's like, okay, fine. Then we're both gonna play DPS. And hopefully we don't get a Reinhardt. Because last night, not last night, but the night before that, we went with a brain dead Reinhardt.
Wow.
And people are saying, oh, Reinhardt is so good and he's like goating, he's meta. But every single Reinhardt we get on our team is a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And what do we get? We queued for DPS last night. What do we get? Another Reinhardt. Mm-hmm. And guess what? We go against another Reinhardt. So it's Reinhardt versus Reinhardt.
Yeah.
Right? We end up getting the worst one. Oof. The worst Reinhardt out of the two. So what happens? Me and Bounty are getting MVP every single time. The Reinhardt keeps dying. We don't get anything done. We lose.
Lame.
Yep, lame indeed. So, I was literally losing my fucking marbles yesterday. I was having the insane, I don't know if you heard it, TV.
Oh yeah, I heard a few things.
I was fucking losing it, man.
Yeah.
Because I'm out here putting in work, and I'm telling people, like, if I'm doing something wrong, please tell me. I swear I'm not doing anything wrong. If I'm doing something wrong, let me know.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, you're not doing anything wrong. You're fine. It's just that we just having bad teammates. And it's just like, then what do I do then? I can't carry 3 idiots.
Yeah.
Because then what do you want me to do? And it's been nothing but dropping after dropping after dropping. And I wanted the Orisa skin for my tank, which is like a silvery, very beautiful looking skin.
Okay.
And I was 99% GP. I had to win one match, and I get the skin.
Okay.
I lose 4 in a row.
That sucks.
And what happens? Now I have to win 5 games so I can get back. And I don't know. I'm losing my fucking mind. Because I'm so close, yet I keep getting idiots on my team.
That's the downside of some online modes, right? Sometimes you get good players and sometimes you don't.
Yeah, and then I get Junos out here that play lock-on simulator, where it's just lock-on with their abilities, torpedoes, and they always do enemy damage, but they never heal your fucking team.
Yeah.
And they have like 6k damage, but like 900 healing, which is like maybe like a few orbs to your teams, and that's it, like in the entire match.
Okay.
It's nothing. So it makes you wonder, then what am I supposed to do then? It's just...
Yeah, it does suck because you can be kicking ass and taking names, but if like everyone else on the team isn't exactly carrying their weight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the fact that we lose, I guess this is the fact that just completely just boggles my mind. The fact that we had 5v4. They have one less healer, and we lose. And we basically, me and Bounty are yelling at these idiots.
Yeah.
Basically, hey, shoot the Mercy. You're a hit scan. And basically, you know a hit scan is a projectile. You're a hit scan. Hit the Mercy. And he's just like, walls exist, right? Then go around the wall or flank. You don't have to shoot the first enemy you see like it's Call of Duty. Go around, get behind them, use your little auto aim because you have auto aim, and then just shoot her out of the sky. Yeah. He can't do that. Why can't he do that?
Wow.
It's so hard to think of this shit on. Do I have to tell you everything? And it's just like, I don't know. And the thing is that I was playing tank, right? Because I want to get the skin. And then Bounty's like, okay, I'll play support so I can back you up. We are doing fine. Our DPS don't do shit. So what do I tell Bounty? Okay, Bounty, I'll go tank, you go DPS, so you can kill them. What happens? We get brain dead supports that don't heal. So it's like, unless you have like a 5-man team where you're basically all friends and you're all talking to each other, you just get idiots on your team.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
It's like playing with GTA Online randos on Heist, It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
But in Overwatch. Which is why I wish we had 3 other players to play with, so we can fill the idiot gaps.
Yeah. I guess what you got to do is hope that you come across really good randos and befriend them, and maybe they're having the same frustrations you guys are.
Well, the thing is that we tried that, and then we tried inviting them, or I did, but once it's one of those things where they send you a friend request, they're like, sure, we'll play some other time, and then they'll never friend you
never
again.
see them again.
Yeah, so why send me the friend request then?
Yeah, I guess it's the hope that maybe they will, but then things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does suck, though. See, what else have I been playing? Oh, yeah, I finished up RoboCop Rogue City. I really enjoyed it. And I don't know if I'm going to play the DLC when it comes out this July. I'm going to be so busy. I got so many other games I'm focused on playing. I don't know if I'll have time. I hope it's a good DLC. But I really do feel like the team behind RoboCop Rogue City, like, either are huge RoboCop fans or they went back and they watched the movies and they were just taking serious notes.
Mm-hmm. Of what works and what doesn't work?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what works?
What?
The 2014 movie.
No. That does not work. One of many remakes that will be forgotten.
Yeah, I just didn't like the black suit.
Me either.
I mean, it would be cool, but they made it a PG-13 movie.
Yeah, in the original movie, those 3 movies are so brutal because just gore and blood, and it's just a typical like 80s action movie, action sci-fi.
I think if I'm not mistaken, the main actor that played RoboCop in like the 2014 movie basically said that he was mind blown that it wasn't rated R.
Well, that's the problem with studios now. It's just that they think about like how much money they can make, and they always are shy about going R.
Wasn't it the same thing with Venom?
Yeah, and it's a terrible mistake because it's been proven time and time again that you can go rated R, and as long as it's a good movie, people will come to watch it, and you will make money. Like the Deadpool movies, they're rated R.
Yeah.
Deadpool and Wolverine, rated R.
And people love them.
And that's under Disney now. And Disney was smart enough to realize that, hey, if we're gonna do another Deadpool movie, then we gotta let them cook. We gotta let them go in with a hard R. I know that didn't sound right, but
yeah.
But my point is, whenever a horror film is PG-13, with a few exceptions, unless it's psychological, right? Because psychological horror movies can work, but a lot of horror movies have to have horror, they have to have gore, and they have to have all this stuff in it. And because the rating system, most of the time, like, you have to get to that R, right? You have to be willing to take the R, but if you give somebody a good product, they'll go watch. And it is disappointing that there's so many movie films that have come out that should have been rated R, but weren't because they chose to play it safe. And whenever they played it safe, they didn't exactly do so well at the box office.
Yeah.
So that's the irony. That's the entire reason why they went PG-13, because they thought that would mean more people would be able to go watch the movie, but the movie sucks and is cutting corners and too afraid to push the envelope, then people don't want to go watch it.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a remake to a much beloved classic like the original RoboCop movie. I just wish they would stop doing remakes and just come up with some new products, some new IPs, Just do that. But yeah, the RoboCop game is surprisingly good, and it was free throughout April on PlayStation Plus. So I'm glad I picked it up and played it. And I don't know what the studio is going to do next, because before that they did the Terminator Resistance game, which I heard was pretty good. Maybe I'll play that eventually. But they also did that infamous Rambo game that Angry Joe liked to make fun of.
Mm-hmm.
But they've come a long way since then. So props to the studio behind RoboCop. But it'll be interesting to see what they do for their next IP. I wouldn't mind like a RoboCop Rogue City 2 that takes place after the events of RoboCop 3, because RoboCop Rogue City takes place in between 2 and 3. So maybe post RoboCop 3.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be interesting, but I don't know if that's what they're going to do. But I guess we'll find out eventually. And meanwhile, you took a trip back to the world of PALs.
Yep, I went back to Pal World. I don't know why, I was just bored. And I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to go play something. I think it was because I played Day by Daylight, because I went, I think they had like a killer discount, and I bought all the killers again. Just, I think it was the Ghoul, the Houndmaster, and Dracula. Those three. So they were all like 50 or 30% off, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to go get them, because I don't only buy the killers just for the killer themselves, but I buy them for the perks, because the perks are really good.
Yeah.
This one perk from the Houndmaster allows you to like put scorch hooks like everywhere.
Yeah.
And it works really well if you go for a scorch hook build.
Yeah.
So I don't like that. So see, it's like, I don't only buy them for the gameplay, but also, I mean, for the killer themselves, but also for the perks.
Okay.
Plus, also, you never know when they could go out of the store, like Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Because Hellraiser got removed from Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. So the perks are going to become like base perk, but you might never get a chance to play Pinhead again. And, I'm not the biggest fan of Pinhead, but if I ever feel like playing, because sometimes I just don't play the characters just for the characters themselves. I want to, sometimes I like the gameplay.
Yeah.
And I might have no idea how they are. Like, for example, like, Mike Myers, right?
Myers.
Or, yeah, he kind of sucks in Dead by Daylight. He's not that good.
He used to be.
He used to be, but the game has just changed so much that he's just now like, ugh. And, something like, if they remove him, you might never get to experience that again, so I bought it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, besides that, after that, I basically just got bored. It's like, okay, I played all the new killers, I did everything, okay, let me just wait until Springtrap comes out in summer 2025, which is either July or August, because I doubt he'll come in June. And basically then after that, I went to Pal World because I got bored. And I got hooked. I got hooked on it again. I made a new world. I went back up and made a new world again.
How many worlds is this now on PS5 alone?
Like 3. Because I think we had the one on YouTube that I first made, which was me and GB. And then we had the trio one, which was me, GB, and Bounty, but nothing happened.
Yeah.
I think I made one episode and that's it.
Yeah.
And now I have the one of myself alone again. So, but this one I actually stuck around with it, and I have a whole team, and I'm already like level 45 or something.
Yeah.
I think Bounty's like 51 in his. But I'm 45 in mine, and right now it's fun. I created my whole team. I have Kitsune, and I named them Kitsune. I just had an E.
Wow.
I just had an E to just call him Kitsune. Foxicle, which is just basically Glaceon. I think Lavander, because, you gotta have Lavander.
Of course, the meme.
What's wrong with the meme? It's just, look.
That's another song you like to listen to over and over again.
What?
Da 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 da.
No, that's
da 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 da.
No, that's just the chill walk and the ferret walk.
Okay.
But that doesn't have to do anything with Lavander.
Oh yeah, Lavander's the
pink.
Yeah, the pink one. Yeah.
The pink one, lizard that likes debauchery.
Asking me to name the pals is the same thing as trying to ask me to name Pokemon.
Okay, there's more simple.
Yeah.
But yeah, then you have Incineram Noct or Incineram, basically, but dark type. He just looks cooler than the original version. Yeah. And then you have Insert Pal here. So it could be Astagon, Beacon, or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, GB, he loves his pals. He remembers all of them.
So much so I haven't played in a quick minute.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's fun. It's just that he doesn't like playing it alone.
It's okay. It's just that I'm not as into it as you guys are, but I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad Bounty likes it and anyone else that plays Power World. It's just I never cared for Pokemon, and this is basically an adult version of Pokemon, in a way. Well, a non-sexual
Yeah.
version, but guns and slavery and that other stuff.
Yeah. I just love, I don't know why. It's just, Power World's just fun. And I love the memes that people come up with, like with Lavander.
Yeah.
And the male Lavanders. It's just the whole meme of Master.
Yeah.
Like, I've been neglecting my duties and I need to be punished.
Wow.
It's just the way they say it. It's just,
Yeah.
it's funny. But, anyways, that's enough of Power World. It's a fun time. I'm not gonna lie. If you haven't played it in a quick minute, go back to it. They added a couple things and you pals.
Yeah.
But anyways, moving on.
And finally, GTA.
GTA.
And that's it. Well, I mean, you went back to GTA
Once.
like a week ago.
Yep. I made a stream.
Yeah.
And that's it.
You were flying down memory lane.
I did. I apparently, not only did I fly the Pyro and, kick the ass and got my ass handed to me. Back and forth.
Yeah.
Basically, besides that, I mean, I saw a bunch of familiar faces and a bunch of other pilots.
Yeah. And after the stream was over, we actually went back and looked at your log, and I didn't realize it had been so long since your last GTA stream.
Yeah. Like I told you, I moved on.
Oh, that's
My last stream was when the Raiju came out.
It's so weird because, I mean, I guess it's because you still show up to some of my GTA streams and play. And maybe in my head, I kind of count that mentally. But I didn't realize that it had been a quick minute since you actually did a GTA stream.
Yep.
Time flies.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you have done some GTA content, like the aircraft that just came out with the Oscar Guzman mini update. But yeah, I mean, that's just reality. There's not much to GTA Online these days. It's very long in the tooth as we patiently wait for GTA 6 and 6 Online, hopefully this fall.
Yeah, it'll come out in 2028.
Sure. But yeah, I mean, even I'm getting to that point now where, if the event week is just mid, I don't want to play it.
Yeah.
It was a good event week this past weekend. We did client jobs, which were, I guess after doing them over and over again, they get boring after time.
Plus, we've done it so many times in the past.
Exactly, and that's the problem. Even if they're decent, it just gets boring after a while. And I would say the main thing we did during the GTA stream was just talk about a bunch of topics, right? And
yeah.
Then
and then having the jobs in the background.
Yeah, basically. And I just took several topics and I just made videos out of them like I've been doing.
Yeah.
So and we also did some Deadline, the Deadline was fun because Deadline's one of the better adversary modes.
Right.
Because there's not that many good ones, but Deadline, Overtime Rumble.
Overwatch Rumble.
You know what I meant. But
yeah.
Most of them are mid, and then a lot of them are shit.
Yeah.
And there's only a small select few adversary modes that are actually top tier.
Yeah, I miss Stockpile. But Stockpile with machine guns only. Don't bring Stockpile with homing lock-on only. Because if you go with randos, that's all they'll do. It's lock-on simulator.
Yeah.
And I hate that. I hate the way fucking people play.
Well, yeah, it's easy.
Yeah, it's just easy. Let's just point the square button and, just have the do and then just shoot. It's the same thing with air superiority in Battlefield.
Yeah.
Where people just, don't even shoot their guns. It's just oh, let me just get behind you, lock onto you, and that's how you're dead.
Yeah, rip.
It's just no, use your guns. It makes it more fun, but people are boring and they only care about ratios.
Yeah.
Or just basically having the easy life,
Yeah.
I don't know how that's fun.
Well, everyone has their own idea of what fun is.
Yep, I love when the game plays for me. I love that shit.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm trying to keep interest in GTA Online, but after playing it for over a decade, and obviously if there is even a summer update, it's gonna be copy pasta. It's probably gonna be just enough to hold people over for a few more months till they get GTA 6 and 6 Online launched.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's it for GTA Online. And if it's a bad event week, I'm just not going to bother on Saturday. I'll just stream something else. I got Oblivion I'm playing right now, so I can just do an Oblivion stream instead. There's other games coming out that I'm interested in. I'll just play that instead. But at the same time, it's been a good run, I guess. Yeah, there's been good times in GTA Online. There's also been a lot of bad times, and the security's not the best, Rockstar, because I watched Gilly's video. And
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Jesus, Rockstar.
That's peer-to-peer for you. It's the same thing with Red Dead.
Yeah, they seriously need to move on to dedicated servers in 6 Online. They better.
Yeah.
There's no excuse. Like Rockstar, Take-Two, multi-billion-dollar companies.
They got the money.
They've got the money for dedicated servers for 6 Online. I swear, they better. They better put 6 Online on dedicated servers. Because peer-to-peer is... That shit
Outdated.
ancient. Yeah, it's outdated. It's ancient. It's not safe. It's not secure. And it's just cheap. And there's a lot of smaller studios that do dedicated servers. So if they can do it, Rockstar, you can do it.
Right.
But anyways, I think that's pretty much it for April, I think.
Yeah. One game I really do want to play that did come out, but I just want to come to console. It's Wild Assault.
Okay.
That did come out this month. It came out in early, like I think April 11th.
And what is Wild Assault?
It's like Battlefield and a bunch of like hero abilities, but furries.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, it's basically I mean basically what I just said.
There's
Yeah,
like a character that's a wolf, one that's a fox, of course.
but they have like a bunch of so many fucking cool abilities.
Yeah.
Like I think they get creative with it. That's the
Yeah.
thing. It's like, for example, if like you think of a skunk, right? What does a skunk have? Like they have this bomb they can throw,
What, a gas bomb?
and it just gases everything, and it fucking
and
smells
ma-
and it kills you.
And it makes sense because it's a skunk.
Yeah, see, like they got fucking creative with it, and they have a fox. What do? They're fast, they're quick.
Yeah.
They move like super like flashy, and they can turn invisible and stuff like that.
And isn't there bigger ones like bears?
I think there's a bear one, but I think he's like a fucking tank.
Yeah, well, which would make sense because he's larger.
Or a lion. So they all run in all fours too, which
Yeah.
is kind of
They run on fours and then they get up on and they shoot.
yeah. And they have like actual like guns. It's not like fantasy guns. They have like I think the medic runs with like a PPSH
Okay.
and like a Thompson or an M60 or stuff like that. It's actually kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, you know it's going to come to consoles sooner or later.
Yeah, I think that it's doing pretty good so
Yeah.
far. But right now, they don't even have controller support for PC, so...
That is so weird. You think that would have been something they've been working on along with the game itself? Because there's people on PC that like to play with a controller, and they have to realize that they could make even more money and have even more players by putting this game on PS5 and Xbox Series as well, which obviously are console and
Yeah.
controller based.
If it does come to console, I'll play it.
Yeah.
But it is kind of cool. They kind of went with like the whole like Overwatch-like thing where they have like a character from each nation.
Yeah.
And they do have a wolf, which is a sniper.
Yeah.
And he has like a really deep voice. And he is actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if I'm playing, I'm just gonna bum rush as the Fox Lady.
What a surprise.
What? What's wrong with that? But yeah, another thing that they did is that basically they made like all the characters like the female ones at least. They made them all waifus.
Of course they did.
Hey,
what a surprise.
Sex sells, okay? Then went with the Overwatch route, make them sexy, and then just put them in SFM and just make a model.
You know,
out of it.
that's what they did with some of the characters in Oblivion Remastered. Like the Flame Astronauts, they made them all sexy and curvy.
Yeah.
The Spriggans, they made them sexy. This one spider chick, they made her look, even though the bottom part's a spider, the top part's a chick. Mm-hmm. And then the female Jamora, they also made her look attractive.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I mean, that is the right way to go about it, you know?
Yeah, it's like also you have Marvel Rivals doing the same thing with Emma Frost and like they made the Invisible Woman Luna mod. You remember that?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, sex sells. Like people are horny out there.
They're true.
Yeah, and because I'm telling you, if you don't do that shit, you get Concord.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't mind having, some characters that look average or even less than average, but don't try to make a statement by making all your characters look that way.
Yeah.
Because these are video games and people do like playing characters that look appealing, whether they're male or female characters. That's just the reality.
Yeah, people just like looking at pretty things.
Yeah.
It's like what somebody once said, a wise person once told me in game chat. If I'm gonna be staring at something for a couple of hours and I'm playing as a female, I want to stare at a couple breasts, okay?
Yeah, nice booty.
Okay, and a nice booty. If I'm playing as a female, I want to have something nice to look at.
Yeah, it's just like in the original Tomb Raider with the triangle titties.
Exactly. It's just, yeah.
But back then, I remember playing it when I was a kid. You know, you're not thinking about that. You're just, I guess you're using your imagination.
So realistic.
Well, it's the art cover, right? The art cover of Lara Croft, and that's what you're imagining her looking like in the game as you're playing. But in reality, that's not what she actually looks like. So nostalgia doesn't really work out.
It's still funny, though.
It's just funny looking back at it. Like, yeah, you know, I thought she looked a little different when I played as...
She looked way better as a kid, I swear.
Yeah, it's funny how your imagination compensates sometimes.
Yeah. But in all seriousness, though, I wish Wild at Heart will come to console. I would play it on the PC.
I think it will.
I would play it on the PC, and then they can do like a character transfer, because I don't want to miss out on all the rewards that they have.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're always welcome to use this PC, I guess, because I guess this PC that we're recording right now on, I mean, we're using the Xbox Series X for Flight Sim, but I also have my PC recording the
Yeah, but it's warm up here.
It is warm. And you know what? I'm thinking about getting an upgrade anyways. So maybe when I get a new computer, I'll just give you this computer.
Okay, I'll take the upgrade.
Yeah. No.
And then DB can stay with that one.
No. No, I'm taking the upgrade.
No.
But anyways, I guess the game I'm looking forward to that's coming out in May is a smaller game called The Precinct.
Okay.
It's basically a cop game. You play as a cop in the 80s, and it looks kind of like China. You know how Chinatown Wars looks?
Yeah, like Uptown.
It's not completely top down, but there's different cop things you can do. You can do police chases. You can get into shootouts. You can also do basic, like write tickets and stuff.
Yeah, you can be what's it called? The parking maid.
Meter Maid. Yeah.
Meter Maid, that.
But it reminds me a lot of another video game I played years ago called Beat Cop, which is also set in the 80s, but it was more of a side scroller.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I loved that game.
You streamed it once.
Yeah, that game was so funny, but you had to read everything, and yeah. But I did like that game. So Precinct does kind of remind me of Beat Cop, but it also reminds me of like the look of Chinatown Wars, but it looks very promising. So if it gets good reviews when it comes out in a few weeks from now, I'll probably pick it up. But there's also a game coming out in May that you're very excited for.
Spirit of the North. And 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spirit of the North 2. I'll eventually play it when it comes out. Bounty told me to re-download and play the first one.
You know what? You ought to do that. You ought to do another, like leading up to Spirit of North 2, you ought to replay Spirit of North 1. And then go from Spirit of North 1 to 2.
I'll probably do a 2 or 3-parter, because I think if I remember correctly, I think it was like the first... I was going to do it from beginning to end.
Yeah.
But then my stream crashed because I had terrible internet back then.
Yeah.
So I think the first one was like 3 hours, and then the second stream was like 5 hours.
Yeah.
So I think I'll do like a 3-parter.
Yeah.
Or a 2-parter.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
I do remember I did cry when
Yeah, near the end of the... Yeah.
But I don't know if I'll feel the same knowing what will happen.
I still feel like even if you know what's going to happen, if it feels so good or bad or sad, it still hits you.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's going to be the same.
I think you'll be surprised.
We'll see.
Things like that tend to have a way of pulling at the right strings, you know. That was one thing I really liked about, I don't know why, I really liked it about Naruto and Boruto. There were moments when I actually felt that too, like emotional moments with the characters, especially when you got to know the characters and their struggles and what they've gone through and their ups and downs.
Right.
So I think that's one thing they did right with those shows. Plus, once again, going back to the music real quick.
Oh yeah, Naruto music's banger.
Yeah, the music's really good.
Yeah, and I feel like, especially, I think it hit really hard in that whole... I think it worked really well with the Naruto versus Pain arc. Like, right then and there, I feel like that's when it hit the hardest.
Yeah.
Or one of the moments where it did hit really hard.
Yeah, but... Yeah, music... I think music is obviously very important when it comes to, you know, a lot of things. Just sitting back enjoying music, whether it's your favorite bands or artists. And it's especially great when you're watching a TV show that has good music, or movies, and also video games. Because I feel like without the music, so many of these movies would be worse.
Just imagine like an action scene, but everything's quiet.
Yeah, there's nothing happening. Yeah, like, or imagine like Jaws without the dun-da, 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 dun-da.
Yeah.
The psychological effect that it has.
Or Marty returning back to the future without the theme playing in the
Yeah,
background.
there's just nothing.
Just imagine that. It would be so awkward.
Yeah, it would just feel cheap. There's just some additional motion that the music adds.
Yeah.
And it's the same like with Star Wars. If Star Wars just opened Star Wars.
And then no
music. Yeah.
Like none of that.
Yeah. And it was just people talking and then the laser fire. And then when Darth Vader's walking around and you see the Empire, you wouldn't hear the Imperial March.
Yeah, you would just hear walking.
You would just see the spaceships. Be like, well, this is kind of boring.
Music is very important.
I agree. Very important indeed.
Yep.
So, yeah, those are 2 games we're probably going to play on our channels in May. Spirit of the North 2 for you. And maybe she's also going to do Spirit of the North 1 and 2. So, that'd be kind of cool. And then I might check out the Precinct and Continue of Oblivion remaster.
Right.
And other than that, I can't really think of anything else coming up in May.
No.
Oh, May the 4th be with you.
Oh, yeah, talking about Star Wars. I guess the whole Fortnite thing with Star Wars, but GB doesn't care.
I do want to get the Emperor, but he's going to be in the Battle Pass.
And he's going to be tier 100.
Probably.
Yeah, so you're going to have to... It's not going to be like the Wolf, where you're going to like level 40 and that's it.
It's just like I feel like Al Pacino in Godfather 3. Just when I'm out, they pull me back in.
Yep. That's the whole thing. It's all Star Wars themed. It's just the GB season.
Yeah.
But GB's just like, I want to play so many other games. I don't want to play this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of busy right now.
GB doesn't want to play Tycoon for 6 hours so he can get his skin.
Oh yeah, I did that to get the wolf skin for the last season because I still had the crew hadn't expired for me yet.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? I'm gonna at least get up to that point where I can get the mean looking like wolf dude.
I wanted him, but I gave up halfway.
Yeah, I just tycooned the fuck out of that.
Yeah.
I was doing like lumber tycoon. I did like 1 or 2 other different tycoons. It worked though.
Yeah, you got your skin.
Because I was just listening to shit in party chat while it was happening, so I had stuff going on the side, you know. So like,
for me, it was just so boring that even with stuff on the side, I just couldn't bring myself to play.
I know.
But besides that, I really want to get into Wild Assault, though. I do want to.
The only reason why I would get back into Fortnite is if you guys get back in.
I don't know.
And if you guys aren't going to do it, then I'm probably not going to bother either. Even if it is for Star Wars and to get the like, seriously, like, why put Palpatine in the Battle Pass? That's the one I want to buy.
Yeah, it's the same reason why they put Sub-Zero in the Battle Pass.
It's so messed up because during Halloween one year, I actually dressed up like Palpatine in my teens. I had like a blue blanket I used as a hoodie, and I kind of painted my face to look kind of like Palpatine. People didn't know who the fuck I was. It's like, who are you? I'm like, I'm the Emperor. I'm like, what? You know, from Star Wars. What? It's like most people when they think of the villain, they think of Darth Vader.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, I dated one chick that was like that. I'm like, he's not the main villain though, and she's like, what do you mean? Like, there's the Emperor. Hello. And well, that obviously didn't work out, but that's fine. Like, she had so many tattoos, anyways. I don't even know why I was dating her, but that was really brief.
Yeah, it was the face, GB.
It was a very small face. She was attractive, you know, and there was a mutual interest, but it was very brief. But she also liked Star Wars, but she was like, yeah, Darth Vader's like the best villain ever. I'm like, what? I mean, he's a great villain, but the Emperor Palpatine is like...
Right there, too.
Yeah, he's right there, too.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. But anyways, even if we don't play it, like, their new policy now is to put it in the item shop, a year later. So
yeah, or something, so you can buy it later.
But we'll see. I mean, if I'm bored and if other people are playing Fortnite, Star Wars that I know, then maybe I'll get back into it. But no promises. If I don't get it, I don't get it. It's not a big deal because I got other games I'd rather play.
Yeah. Plus you got Darth Vader.
Yeah, I already have Darth Vader, so...
Yeah.
I mean, I think Darth Vader is a great villain, but Palpatine is the greatest villain of all time. You know?
The mastermind.
Darth Vader is actually more of a tragic hero, really. Hero turned villain turned tragic hero. But anyways, I think that's it for us.
Yep.
And yeah, it's gonna get hotter soon. It's already starting to get hot. It is. Well, it's only 83 degrees, but it's warmer in my office because, you know.
Because of all the other things.
The PC and the Xbox both being on right now.
And turning.
And the cat meowing. But, yeah. So that's pretty much what we were up to this past April.
Yep.
And hopefully we'll be back in a month from now, most likely in Flight Sim 2020. We'll eventually go back to 2024.
When they fix it.
When they fix it. Maybe next year. But yeah, thanks for watching our vlogs as always, everyone. And hopefully we'll see you all in a month from now for the May 2025 vlog.
Bye-bye.